Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Okay.
Wow,
So
coming back hot and fast. Hold on. Let me get a cold drink. Let me get a cold drink.
Yeah.
There we go.
So
Let me open up and ensure.
anyway, I've had this plan. I like planting trees. I
Hold
like plants.
I'm glad to hear you say that. Would you may not take it quite this far, but would you say that planting plants and plants bring you joy?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I just want that on record.
Yeah. It's also calming to me for whatever reason, and I like standing in my backyard and looking at a lush.
High as hell.
Yeah. Gotta be high.
Plants and high is great. Balloons and high.
Really, whatever I'm doing, if I'm high, I'm like, this is pretty good.
Me too. I'll tell you right now, my dog
makes it better.
My dog, one balloon and some marijuana, and we're good for the afternoon. We're good for the afternoon.
So I've been wanting to plant these plants around, like the last side of my fence.
You're
is
building
bare,
a wall?
A wall of green.
Okay.
And then I'm also, Crystal really likes Royal Poinciana.
Is this inspired by Trump wanting to buy Greenland? Is that why you're doing this? This is your
I
conservative.
like green.
This is your conservatism showing,
Oh, it's all
sir.
ice. Anyway, so it's got oil back in. Crystal likes Royal Poincianas because
What is explain what to like a non. I'm not a non-plant man.
Okay.
I just only have indoor plants because I don't have a yard.
Yeah,
So,
this is a big ass tree.
Okay.
And it's primarily, or they're most popular down south, southern Florida, just because of the climate. Although now,
you guys
that's
always
something different.
got to bring your garbage from down south up here, right?
They can live up here.
Yeah.
It's a lot warmer than it used to be.
Always bring your garbage up here.
And they turn red, like bright red,
Like a baboon's ass.
They flower like 2 times a year. You'll see them in Miami, and you'll see them up here every once in a while. But like I said, she just is nostalgic because it's a popular
nostalgia.
Miami tree.
Sure.
Anyway, so I want to plant one of those and then some other plants along the side of my fence. So my neighbor had chopped down a camphor tree a long time ago, and they grinded it down to the level of the yard, right?
Yeah.
So
I like to call that beer can level because
Yeah.
all of the stumps in my backyard as a young boy would be probably ground down by one of Dad's friends.
Yeah.
Only to a level where you could still trip on it or put a beer on top of it. Like, it wasn't like...
Yeah, 100%. Well,
No.
They did. It's and the grass grew over. You can't even tell there's something there. But the problem is, I can't dig a hole to put a tree there because it's solid wood. The stump still is under
would
the
it
ground.
be possible for you to chop a hole in the tree, fill it with dirt, and use it as a nature's pot?
Well,
Has anybody done that? You should woodwork it. You should hollow it out almost like a woodworker would and make it a large tree pot.
yeah, but
No one's done that, and that sounds good for when you're high.
I need the roots to go down in between the tree. Anyway,
How big of a tree are we talking?
it was gigantic before, but I just need a guy so I hired a company to stump grind this, and so that I could plant there. Right?
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
Yeah. It also was a big turning point.
Whoa. I didn't see any posts on the BDM page.
I know.
I
There's
didn't see any. You didn't mention it to me. This is a hidden. This is like a secret
I wanted
project.
to.
You wanted to start.
I wanted to post it. That was my first. I was like, oh, I need a stump grinder. Go to the medium page. Like, who's got a grinder?
Yeah. Well, you start with who's got a grinder.
Yeah.
If you get nobody, the second one you go, who needs pain pills?
yeah.
And you could get people to do anything, including sexual favors.
And but I didn't. I just called some. I just looked up on Google.
Mr. Stumpy.
I was like, who?
Thank you for calling Mr. Stumpy. This is Susan.
So called them up. Nowadays, I could tell a lot of these companies, like one of our clients back in the day, Paisley Painter or Painting. They
must have meant a lot to you. Is it Paisley Painter or Paisley Painter?
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's Paisley Painted. Anyway, they do.
You're not with us anymore. I don't need to know your authenticity of your name.
They could do their quotes digitally. They don't have to do the old school person comes out, looks at it, you talk to them.
Yeah.
I like it old school, though.
I do like it, too.
Because
I feel like you can charm them a little bit more. You can't charm a robot.
Well, it's not
if they're
even
using
robot.
Google Earth or something, I can't charm the square footage of my home. You know what I mean?
It was a person just text me. They're like, take a picture and then draw out in the picture
No,
what you want.
I don't want that. I want to be able to, no offense, but I
Yeah.
want to be able to go like, oh, Ohio State, all right, go Buckeyes, all right, put it here. You know, I want to be able to chirp them
chirping
up.
Yeah.
Chirp them up.
This wasn't that there. So I took a picture, I drew a line, and then I'm like, I want grinding here. And then they're like, all right, $5.75. And
Oof.
so I don't know I'm not even going to bother looking up if that's a good problem. I'm like, deal.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
wanna
just
get
come
it done.
grind it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, just make sure there's no utilities under there. And I'm like, it's good. Anyway, this was weeks ago because
Yeah.
they're far out. Anyway, so
People
Chris,
don't say that anymore. Far out.
whatever.
It's far out.
What I'm saying, the work has got to be scheduled far out from when I called. Anyway, so Crystal, I told her the other day.
This is your problem.
What?
What you're about to tell me.
Because I told Crystal.
Correct.
Yeah. Just do it myself.
Yeah.
I know. I'm getting like
Do it in your
I'm
mind.
getting
No,
closer.
don't even make it audible. In your mind, everything in your mind.
Yeah.
I've started out 2025 because, I have a tendency to complain sometimes. Not quite as bad as Seth, and other people that have worked here, but I'll complain. 2025, all in my brain. The family says I'm completely changed. They're like, he doesn't talk anymore. It's because I'm complaining in my mind.
The problem is I don't trust myself to completely look at all the details I may be missing.
You want a second pair of eyes.
Yeah.
And Crystal's smart. Why wouldn't you? You guys are a tag team.
Well, it's like I'll tell you things that I'm doing just so I can say it out loud.
Yeah, talk it through. We do it all the time. I do it to you.
And
I was talking at my hips this morning about I'm going to this and I'm going to do this. I'm really just talking it out so you might catch something that I didn't catch and you'd be like, red flag. Hold on, Dan.
Yeah. Another set out. Yeah, just like you said. And because I miss a lot of details and I tend to do things haphazardly and fast.
Quick.
Not quick.
Yeah, you're quick.
And I just want it done now.
Yeah.
And not really
But
the right way.
you also overthink things. So it's straight. You're a crazy. You're an insane person.
So then Crystal's like, make sure that there's no utilities. And I'm like,
I don't even know what utilities encompasses. What is a utilities?
Cable line, some sort of
You can hit the cable line.
power
That's fine.
lines.
That one you don't want to hit.
Because I don't have there are underground power lines. Like my power goes underground, but I'm pretty sure from digging in my yard for years that I know where it comes from here and not on the side of my
your
fence
yard.
line.
You're a man.
Yeah. And
Every man should know his yard.
And I'm like, there's nothing under this giant camphor tree. I don't think this thing's been here for 30 years. And
Well, they put the wires there, and then they put the camphor tree seed on top of the wires, and then the camphor seed wires push the wires push the wires all the way down.
And then Crystal's like, well, what about the storm drain? That's right.
I don't even know what that does. What is this? I don't even know what that is.
Well, it takes the storm water from my street and it takes it back to behind my house.
What do I care if I dig through? It's not mine. It's the government. They'll fix it.
Okay, well, I don't know. Well, if you completely destroy it, I think they'll be like,
Nah, you're not going to destroy it. You're just, put a little hole in it,
And then so Crystal's like, make sure that they don't, they bring in equipment, they're grinding, they damage the storm drain, then the city is
this is stuff I would have never thought of.
Yeah,
You own that house. Dig it up.
So, well, I don't own the storm drain, and then
they shouldn't have put it there. That's your property. Get your storm drain the hell off my property, government.
I think they'll sue you eventually or force you to pay for it.
Well, that's
I don't
when
know.
you get your guns out. And that's when you close all the blinds and you have yourself just a good old-fashioned Volusia County standoff.
Mainly, I don't want to hear it from Crystal.
Now, this is the
I don't
argument
care
you
about
could
the
have jumped.
law.
You could have jumped right to this. I understand that. This I understand.
I don't care about anything else really than having because I have to live with this
well,
lady.
Why'd you have me waste my time? This
And then
is
she won't give me what I want.
I know you
And
want.
then she also will
Yeah.
just yelling
Yeah.
at me the whole time. I have to pay for it so much. Like,
yeah.
I don't want this. So anyway, she called. She's like, you better figure it out. You better not screw this up. And then I'm like,
I love that every morning you're left with like the boss that turns and goes, "It better be done when I get back, you moron." And then you're like,
No. I'm just mad. I'm not scared. Like
I'm not scared.
Like
You sound like a refugee.
I'm just mad that I have to do this instead of
No,
doing.
no, I'm not that scared.
Like I want to do it the laziest way.
So what'd you do?
I want to take a chance. I want to like they're only digging 2 feet. I'm like they're not gonna hit the storm
Well,
drain.
why does she?
I bet
leave
the
this?
storm drain is deep as hell.
I guess my question would be, doesn't she get tired?
Oh, she's real tired.
Well, no, but then why doesn't she just do it? Because she knows you're not going to do it, right?
No,
So
she
it's
doesn't
surprising that she leaves you with the test. It's a test.
No, she doesn't want to do it. And I
It's
think
the ultimate test. It's an Indiana Jones puzzle test.
I think deep inside she wants me to screw it up because she's somehow been trained to like being mad at me.
No, if you screw it up, then it's really you. Nothing's changed and you're not cheating on her. Because if you screw it up, it's the same old Tom.
Anyway.
If you got it right, you're cheating on her.
So I was like, I've never done this and involved any, like I've never got permits for anything. I'm Miami. I don't like permits. I think insurance.
You can't even say the word right, really. It's weird. You're like, permit.
I was also raised to distrust the government by my pop-pop. He just, like, don't involve them and never call them.
You're Castleberry's Elian Gonzalez.
Yeah. He's old school Republicans. They don't like the cops. That's a new school Republican thing.
Yeah, that's why none of it makes sense anymore. All you guys have it wrong.
My pop-up didn't like any authority.
Yeah.
You don't want the cops. The Park Service, he had a fight, generational fight with the Everglades Park Service.
I can't even say what he thought of Park Rangers. Oh my God, hated him.
Yeah, like the Everglades Park Rangers and the Vans had fighting. Like they fought for like 25 years.
Long-standing feud. Didn't your grandfather kill a boat cop one? I thought he murdered a boat cop. It was
they tried to put him in jail.
It was self-defense.
Yeah. They
blew a boat cop's head off.
They were fighting anyway. So I go on Google. I'm like, what do you do before you dig? How do you find out?
I got the commercial. You want to hear it?
Okay.
Here it goes.
Safe digging is no accident, and underground utility lines can be anywhere, even in your yard. So before you replace that mailbox, install a new fence, or do some planting, pick up the phone and call 811. This one free, easy call to 811 gets utilities in your yard marked so you can avoid service outages,
I love the music.
injuries, and costly repairs. It's fast, it's free, it's the law. Call 811 befone you dig.
Oh, the worst thing they could have played is "It's the Law" for you.
I like the first two. Once you said it's a law, you didn't even have to add that. You left that out. I don't give a damn.
The music's awesome in that too.
I do like Fast and Free. That's all it
Fast
was.
and free.
So I called them this morning. Remember when you were talking? I'm like, I'm on the phone.
You yelled at me.
I'm on hold.
Yeah, you did. You're like, I'm on hold with somebody. You M-word. And I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. I'll get back to just making something.
And I'm skeptical of this whole process. I'm like, no way, this is free. There's some sort of loophole.
That ain't even. It's only 3 numbers. That ain't how phone numbers work. It's at least 7 numbers on the phone number.
So called 811. And then they started filling out paperwork, and they're
Who
like,
did?
the lady on the line. She's
You got
like,
a real human being? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. They wanted me to do it online, but I'm like, I want to talk to someone.
Oh my God, you are an old man now.
And so,
my God, you signal tech that. You didn't want to do it on. I could have done it online in like 5 minutes for you.
So I'm trying to explain to the lady, like, from my knowledge, there's nothing underneath this tree. It's on the left side of my house, but I know where there is cable lines.
Hold on a second. You didn't say this part.
Okay, I don't want to tell anybody. There's cable lines
Well, now
in
you're
the
just
back.
a liar. Originally when I said this, I didn't want to say it because it's the truth and it would change your opinion of me and the situation.
But it's farther away from the stump. Like it's a good 20 feet from the stump. There is like a crossroads of cable lines. All my neighbors' cable intersect in the back, and there's just like little box, a utility box back there. And but I know
They call it the dig of death, Bobby.
I know where my cable line, it goes through the middle of my yard because I've cut it multiple times when I was cutting up irrigation lines.
Okay, I remember that.
Yeah. So I'd cut the cable, and then they lose internet, and Chris will yell at me. Yeah. Anyway, this is part of the I've done this multiple times.
When I said cut the cord, I didn't mean actually cut it.
And then we didn't, we stopped getting cable, and then I was like chop it up crazy. So anyway,
Did she know that was you?
So I called 811, and they're like, okay, filled out the form. I tried to explain. She's like, I don't need this information. Your form has been filled out, and now you're going to have...
How long do you got to wait? You want to do this quick.
Well,
I don't have time to wait for you to fly a drone over my house or pull up the schematics. I need to know in 12 hours.
So she started listing off all these companies. I'm like, I don't think any of these companies are relevant to me.
What, are you going to pick a company within network or something?
No.
Like insurance?
I'll send out an alert to all these companies, like, this guy is digging, and
he's a maniac.
He's an idiot.
Idiot digging.
And now I'm getting email after email from companies, and they're saying, caution.
Go dig, you idiot.
That's what they're telling me. They're like, watch out. They're like,
help.
They're like, be careful. You, whatever you sent us.
Dearest idiot, we understand that you want to do some digging in your backyard.
Please
like, do not.
From the form, there may be some utilities. Don't do nothing until we get out there. And I'm like, oh, God.
How do you get them out there, though? Are they scheduled to come out?
I don't know.
And you got to let them in. It's in your backyard. They can't just, hop the fence.
So
this is a mess.
Of course it's a mess. That's why I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to call the goddamn tree guys, pain pill guys, and then they come out. They don't give a damn. They'll just dig it up.
Yeah.
And then it's
fine. And if they hit something, they'll just be like, we hit something. I'll be like, all right, don't tell my wife and get the hell out of here.
And they won't even tell me. They don't, because they don't want the hassle.
Yeah, you'll be walking back through your fall through a mine shaft.
And then they'll dig it up. Most likely it's fine. And then I'll plant my trees. And then I got all these companies are like, stop. And then I'm like, no, it's fine. I think you're thinking about something else. Because they're used to.
What did Crystal say, or did you not tell her?
Oh, I'm not telling her nothing. I'm never telling her nothing. Again.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
I'm doing this myself. I'll tell you and the listeners.
You can tell me and the listeners.
Yeah.
Because they don't listen.
Oh, they don't care. They want me to fail.
I don't tell Andrea anything about because she asks all these questions. Like I go for my hips to the doctor, and she asks all these dumb questions. Did you get a referral? I'm like, wasn't the appointment for a goddamn referral? What'd you think I did?
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Your hips.
Man. Yeah, it's bad.
You're getting the hip replacement.
Yeah, it looks like I gotta get it replaced. Both of them actually, and. Thankfully, a lot of listeners have actually emailed me, and there are a ton of listeners that have had either this type of surgery or something very close to it.
Yeah.
Like some sort of an issue with their hips. So, yeah, I got to go meet the surgeon in March and talk about, I guess he's probably going to want to do his own films or x-rays or whatever, and then I'll schedule it and get it done and then probably do the other one.
So, and they said it was a fast recovery.
I'm going with a different style. Yeah, it's you could be walking into the afternoon.
Okay.
And then maybe I think full recovery, 4 weeks.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. You're still moving around. You're just not. Of course, anybody who's done physical therapy, it sucks and it's hard. But as long as you do the stuff that you're supposed to do. Typically it's a good deal.
Yeah. And I have noticed though that in my 40s I heal slower.
Oh yeah. I mean, more like
I've had.
This is probably gonna put me in the coffin. I'm thinking.
No,
much like a Kanye West mom. I'm gonna have him do some other stuff while I'm in there too.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna have him. I'm gonna have him add my gold tooth while they're doing my hips.
Could they add some length?
Yeah, I'm gonna get extended hips.
I mean,
I'm gonna get hips plus.
Can you put another?
Put an extra stitch in it.
A couple more inches, they won't call me the M word anymore.
It's absolutely true.
I'm too close to the M word.
There's a chance. Now think about this. There's a chance just because they're putting new parts in there.
Yeah.
That I gain a little bit of height, just because of that.
Yeah,
my old bones are all grinded down. I may not even be 5'2". They put real hips in there, 6 foot. Bam! Bam!
You come here long.
Yeah,
ways.
I'm long. I got to change my camera and everything. And my body geometry is all weird. I'm like inward on the top, and I'm like a George Marathon on the bottom. Yeah, I got the long, lanky bus decker legs.
Are they putting metal in you?
I have no
Or
idea.
is it plastic?
I have no idea. No, none.
'Cause
Absolutely no idea. Do you want me to tell
If
you?
they put metal, then you'll have to, like, anytime you fly, you have to be like, I've got metal. You know,
I
it'll
won't
set
tell
off
them.
the.
Just like you, I'm not going to tell them.
No, well, you set off the metal detectors. And
I'm
then
just going to
you're-
waste everybody's time. I mean, I don't know what it is, man. I got nothing. Then I'm going to yell discrimination. But, like, here, I will tell you something that happened to me while I was making the appointment that is awkward, and I'm not even sure how to handle it. I handled it, but I still felt guilty and terrible. The lady that called, you know, like when you get a referral from your doctor, normally they'll call you.
Yeah.
So the office was calling me to set up the appointment. So I've been on my phone. Like, it sucks that these days scam artists can, you know, spoof the number or the area that you're going to get phone calls that you're expecting in. You know, like I got a ton of
Every scam call I get is 407
Yeah.
321. You know,
They
it's
don't say
all-
Winter Park. They don't say spam likely. It's just Winter
Yeah.
Park. I pick it up, whoop, and I'm like, oh, it's there, it's them.
Yeah.
But so I'm answering the phone all day long, and then I answer one, and I get a woman, like a woman my age or a little bit older, with the heaviest Spanish accent of any person I've ever talked to on the phone, trying to actually get me.
Okay.
Like very, very super heavy, like the heaviest. It's definitely. And no offense to this lady, but you needed a little more time. You need to practice more.
Well, it shouldn't be taken as offensive if your accent is so thick that
Right.
people can't understand you.
Correct.
And
So-
it's like,
No,
I
I
don't
know.
mean to offend you, but it's like if you can't understand, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. You
Well,
know.
I'm talking to the lady, and then so this is now, mind you, this is the health organization, and this is just their scheduling department. Well, she starts changing the referral of what my doctor wanted me to go to. Like my doctor looked at all the surgeons and said, well, for what you have, it's pretty specific. We need to go with this guy who does these kind of like weird cases, right? So that's why I got that specific referral. But the lady on the line, through what I'm listening to, I can barely understand that she's saying, I have to change your referral. She's like, I have to change your referral. I can't have you give this referral. And I'm like, well, why are you changing it? You're the scheduling people. You don't have that authority, do you? Like, I guess they do.
Well, she's probably like, it doesn't matter. Their doctor just referred you to whoever anyway.
It kind of felt like
know,
that, man.
I know how
Yeah.
this industry works. Like he just referred you and then made up a reason why. I'll change it. No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But you're like, I'm in this to believe that this is legitimate.
Right. Yeah,
So,
well, like for me also, too, it's like it doesn't.
and you care about my health.
Yeah, it doesn't lead me as I guess, like a high anxiety patient. It doesn't leave me with a good taste in my mouth. It doesn't make me feel confident about what you're doing to me and my body when I can't understand what you're saying. So I finally asked the lady, I'm like, I hate to say this, and I've never said this in being alive 48 years. I was like, can you give me to somebody that maybe I can understand their accent a little bit better?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know. And then she put me on hold, and she sounded completely defeated. And then I felt completely defeated and sad.
Yeah.
And then she gave me to like some sweet, like younger girl, and the younger
You're
girl,
as bad as Dog the Bounty
I
Hunter.
felt as bad as I felt as bad as Dog the Bounty Hunter, and I too wanted to be buried with the dead slaves. But I on the line, like and then the lady I got. Now I am projecting. I'm just going to use my imagination to paint what I got on the line. I got a young girl, late 20s. Who picked up the line because she knew she was talking to the old racist man who needs a hip transplant, who can't talk to the Spanish lady.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like, because she was like, hello, can I help you? I'm like, oh my God, what have I done?
Yeah.
I should have just fought through it. You tell me to do that. You're like, no, path of least resistance, fight through
just
it.
take whatever they give you.
If they're like, we have to change your to a
Whatever.
new doctor. Yep, yes, sir, yes, ma'am.
And
new
then
doctor.
if you show up and then that is a different doctor, just go to him.
So
it doesn't matter.
And so the lady is like, she's telling me now that she has to change my referral, and I'm like, you guys can't do that. You're the scheduling. Like, I didn't know you had the authority to just refer me to a different doctor. Do you know the doctor? You're the lady answering the phone. You're not a physician, right? So then she was like, sir, like, I guess because, I have a tendency to get a little, I get a little animated, I guess.
Sir, you're yelling the N-word.
I was not. Why would you even say that? So then she says, we go back and forth. She gets it scheduled, and then I hang up. But it's like one of those things where I'm like,
oh, now you're flagged.
I do exactly. I feel like
now you're flagged.
Now we're gonna spit on his hip when we put it, just like we would at Burger King.
Sprinkle some pubes in there.
Open him up. His hip's open. All right. Sprinkle the pubes on it. Oh God! Every time I go for a jog, I can feel the pubes rattling around in my hip. You know what I mean? That is what I feel like. Does that make me crazy?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
is this segment called Tom and Dan Are Crazy? We both give an example of why we're crazy.
So now, did they?
Oh God, the chat room saying that. They're like, that's definitely on your chart. But what was I supposed to do? Look, I'm a nervous patient. I have anxiety. I'm in so much blank pain. No one even understands how much blank pain. Well, if you have hip problems or severe back pain, you get it.
That Spanish lady understood. Too bad you couldn't understand her.
I know. I know. She was very sweet. And why is she on the front lines? And how many times a day does somebody have to ask to be given to the younger lady? And how many times a day does the younger lady give some sort of passive-aggressive, you're racist tone to the person on the line? Oh, God, what have I done?
Now, do you know anything about the surgery as far as, is it a big incision? Like, because I imagine they have to put some sort of puck.
I know nothing about it, dude. Like, honestly.
It's not.
Because the more I'll read, the more I'll get lightheaded and want to pass out.
Like, I had a surgery on my labrum in my shoulder.
You had a labia reduction.
And it was orthoscopic. So there's 3 little tiny 2-stitch incisions, and they went in there with a robot. But I don't think if they have to install something in your hip, I imagine they have to, cut it open, right? Like it's not orthoscopic.
I think they do have to cut you open because don't they have to put something in there?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it has to be a big incision.
Don't I get a device I want a device of some sort. Chat room is Kupo nailed exactly what I was thinking. They probably deal with a ton of Spanish speaking only type people, and that's what that lady's for. But they, you should probably just set her up for success by not having her call people that aren't Spanish speaking because that's not fair to her.
Yeah.
You're wasting her time. God, I hate stupid people. Not her. The people in charge.
But I'm
scared. Yeah, I'm a little worried about it because it's going to be a lot of therapy and it's going to be months of I'm going to get one done and hopefully that'll be good, and then I'll get the other one done and hopefully that'll be good. But everybody I've talked to, any BDM that's messaged me has said nothing but good things when they've gotten it done.
Yeah, well, if it fixes the problem and the pain, you just might as well get it done,
Damn, Jay
so
Korn.
move on.
Okay, I may not be able to. If I pass out while reading this, just pick me up and kiss my forehead.
Okay.
Jay Korn says, my sister had her hip done. They cut off your ball joint. When they want to screw the new titanium one back on, the surgeon cracked her femur like an old rotted board. Dude just wrapped wire around it to put it back together and didn't tell her. She still isn't right. Oh, okay, well, that's good to know.
Well, why
he
would you say
wire
that?
Around. Like what? He went, because that's what I'm worried about. I think I got brittle hips because I was a premature baby.
No,
I think I got the guy in
accidents,
300.
I mean, things happen.
You know the guy in 300 that gets way horny in the orgy, and then
the monster,
the incel, the crazy incel,
the mutant.
Yeah, the mutant. I am the 300 mutant, and I have his hips. And they're gonna go to screw in my hips, and they're gonna break it off like an old rotted board. Then he's gonna wrap wire around it. Then I'm gonna go to the wheelchair, beginning of the end. Then pretty soon there's gonna be a ginormous picture of me printed by fast signs at some church, and you guys are all standing around drinking Coors Lights and talking about the guy that was.
No, again, I'm sure, they have had, just like in this person's case, problems and...
Oh, now Andrea's fighting with the people in the chat room that said that because she's saying she really needs to get this done.
So you stop bothering her?
Yes, I stop bothering her.
Daniel's driving Andrew crazy.
I am driving crazy. I am a
Quit
little
telling
bit.
him. Just say everything's going to be fine.
Yeah. It's not. Now
statistically,
you know
is.
what? That's why I like Jay. He tells me the truth. See, the listeners are on my side.
Fear-mongering.
It's you and my wife that are conspiring against me. My wife, Maisie, you. Crystal's my buddy. But Crystal and all the listeners are my only friends. You, my wife, Maisie, you're all against me.
No. You're fine. They do this all the time. This is, easy surgery.
I have been told that
10,000 of these.
Yeah, I have been told it's fairly easy, but it's concerning. Like, it is a marker, and anybody can identify with this. It is a marker of time that nobody wants to face.
Yeah.
You
look at it as you want the problem fixed, and then a year, it'll be better.
I gotta move my body. I can't stand not being able to ride my bike.
Well, that's the worst part, because if
I was riding my bike every single day,
you can't strengthen yourself, then this is going to just get worse and worse.
It is getting worse. Up until 2 months ago, I was riding the Peloton at least 5 times a week.
Yeah. We're not getting better as we age, so the only thing you can do is fight against it.
Yep.
Don't go easily into that dark night. Interstellar.
Oh, hey, that was good. That was good. That's like the best one you've ever done. Let's close out with a couple of voicemails, because we neglect doing that. I really enjoyed that. That's good. That was really good. Let's go with this one right here. Oh, if you would like to leave us a voicemail, we always love getting your questions, your comments. If you got something on your mind that you'd like to get our opinion on, show@tomandan.com for emails, or you can call 1-844-TOMNDAN. Leave a message that way, or use the mediocre messages button on our free Tom and Dan app.
Hey, so everybody's pretty open on this show. You guys have never hid from it. So I just had a question. Tom, after you unlock the bathroom door and walk out, and Dan, after your trip to the Netherlands, is old Spanky drained, and how do you say this? Is your meat super shriveled and just you squeezed all the life out of it? Can't be the only one. Just checking in. All right, love you.
The hell are you talking about, sir? Do you know how biology works? Do you understand what's happening? I like someone not understanding what.
I don't understand my hips. I have no idea how they work. I don't even want to look it up.
How their genitals work. And then if it's just hey, when it's done, I just said, we'll just go down.
Imagine this guy. This guy's 35 years old. He thinks his balls are filled with pee. You know what I mean? I love that. I think that's fantastic.
No, I think he's talking about.
No, I know. I'm just saying
hand.
in general.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
I don't do any of that at work. I don't do any of that I have never gone to a bathroom other than the one in my home and never done anything that would be considered spicy if you're picking up what I'm laying down. I don't do that. I don't need to do it that bad. And I know I've said and claimed that I'm the horniest person on the show, but I've never been walking the mall and been like, well, I need to pop in the bathroom here and, get some aggression out. Yeah. Don't need to do that. So I have self-control.
I was thinking, I see every once in a while on TikTok, it'll pop up where Dana White is talking to some, he's all into biohacking and stuff, and it'll be I'm never gonna go ever see a doctor again for my general health, because
I don't know about that. I mean, you can do both, right?
Yeah. Well, also,
why do you need to eliminate the doctor?
You're insanely rich, so
just get an opinion.
There's other avenues you can go to. For the poor, we have to see a doctor for our general health because we don't have we don't have access to the top people in the health industry that are in the private sector that we could talk to and just text on the phone hey, is this you know what I'm saying, like you do. But anyway, so but his point is a larger point in that it falls into the way our health industry works here in the United States. It's privatized, and it leans towards the money, right? And that's where there's a lot of problems where it's do you care about my health or do you care about the money? Now, a lot of healthcare providers do both, right? And do actually care about their patients. Some don't. You know, you have some Tom Vans in there that just care about the money. And then when you, especially if you go through hundreds and hundreds of patients and this business is running, it starts falling into your patient is just some other customer, and you just put them through the rigmarole of insurance, and then get them the follow-up appointments.
I mean, I guess you're helping. I guess, quote, air quotes, I guess you're helping. You're putting them in the...
But it's a protocol of the business that, of course, has to run because that's how our industry works.
Right.
So we fall into this problem where a lot of people, and I would suggest to everybody, you have to be responsible for your own well-being and the care you're being given, and keep track.
Been that way. It's always been that
way.
way.
Do your own research and look at it, and then make sure that the people you're going to are catching everything, and you can't have full faith that
but it's always
they
been that
will
way.
give you 100. That it'll be,
It's just like there's some illusion, right? It
it's
became
money.
But along the line, it became some sort of illusion that you didn't have to do your due diligence or add in your level of critical thinking to whatever's happening, right?
Yeah.
You know, there have been times when I've caught problems, just in my own health that my doctor didn't even know, right? I mean, a lot of people can say that.
Yeah, but
so they're human too. So I mean,
but then you have other issues. I mean, there's a million problems, and it's so complicated. There's no easy fix. But then you got like Seth. He's coming in soon, and he's going to tell us about some other hypochondria issue, which I'm sure is prevalent throughout the healthcare industry, where a lot of healthcare providers get used to hypochondriacs coming into their whatever doctor's office, whatever it is, like worrying about something that's nothing. And then they constantly tell me you're fine, or like a lot of this, and then they're like, oh, whatever. They look at a Seth, they're like, he wants another MRI where he's going to pay for it.
Yeah.
I'll just give it to him.
My doctor won't do that though. My lady's a little different. Like, I even had a little bit of this, like when, we were talking about my hips and, and the amount of Celebrex I'm on, right? Because I'm on this anti-inflammatory because the pain is just insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
And, you're like on 200 milligrams twice a day. She's like, oh, that's a ton. We got to test your kidneys. And I'm like, for someone like me to hear that, that's not just kind of put it in perspective of people that don't have hypochondria. Like when you hear something like that, you don't hear, oh, it's protocol. She needs to test this. You've been on a minute. Of course, she needs to test this to get more information. She's going to do a metabolic panel, just like any doctor would before they do anything because it's been 3 years since you've had blood work, right? I don't hear that. What I hear is, she has to test my kidneys. I need a kidney transplant. I'm dying.
Yeah, you're dying already of kidney failure.
And it's hard to explain that to people because because there is the joke, because it is hilariously funny to hear that. It's hilarious to think that.
Yeah.
There is a very funny part. In fact,
I
can see you holding back some of your own.
As soon as you told me that weeks ago, I was like, this guy is freaking out about his kidneys now every day. Poor Andrea, torturing Andrea.
Every morning I wake up and I'm like, first thing I think about, my eyes open, I'm like, kidneys.
Yeah. And so eyes are yellow. We've been through it.
Oh yeah. But that's my liver. I got that too.
It's funny because
and stomach cancer. I got that too.
This is how I think. When I hear that, I'm like, you just want to bilk the insurance company for a kidney test because it checks some sort of box that that you could bilk it for a kidney test. You're not. If you were going to bet on it as a doctor that my kidneys were in trouble or fine,
which way would you go?
You would bet fine, and I bet
it's within the normal FDA range.
I bet you would put it at a 95%. But that 5%, you could do the test. You're doing it for the money.
Paid. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
It may not be that. But that's the way. Just of course, where it's not kidney failure, you're fine. But I look at it as the money. You're just, you just something checked the box, and now you can make more money. And and then you're friends with the the MRI or the sonogram. You're all partners,
right,
and you're sending business to each other. It's a network of business. Anyway, I have
let's try this one right here on the topic of magazines.
Hey, Tom and Dan. Remember the 90s and the 80s? and how easy it was to get a magazine and get that postcard in the middle of it, and you'd fill it out for one of your friends' parents, and they would start to receive mail that they did not want. Man, those were some good times, just thinking about that. And my wife's telling me how she signed her friends up for a in-home trial for Miracle Ear. Man.
I would like to laugh.
Before the internet, we
She's still laughing at that prank she played. I like
run
that.
amok.
Okay, there we go. Do you remember doing any of that?
No, I never was interested
You
in
may
the
have been
mail.
a little too young to really catch that. That's a little more my speed, I think. Yeah, we would do that, but normally what you would do is you'd pull those out of like adult magazines, like XXX magazines.
Yeah.
And then you'd fill it out for like the gayest magazine you could find.
They have things online that I see where they'll you could send someone it says on the outside like big gay cruise, and that's what it says on the outside of the package. There's nothing on the inside, and just they'll put you could send that in the mail to someone, and they'll put it in the front of your door like an Amazon package, and then all your neighbors are like, he's going on a big gay cruise.
It gets me. Right?
But there's all that.
Should we do that? Should we start sending all of our Tom and Dan t-shirts in a box that says like
we
AIDS
could
test? What could we do?
I think pranking our own listeners for buying our merch.
Let's ask the chat room. Let's ask listeners. If you have an idea, if you start ordering Tom and Dan t-shirts, we got some new stuff we're going to be rolling out very, very soon. Some stickers and shirts and hats and stuff. If you were ordering stuff, what would you want the bag and or box to say?
Yeah, because we could put anything.
We could
on
put
the outside.
anything on there.
Yeah, we could have Eric. Although it's a whole lot of extra work, to put big gay cruise on all our boxes.
We'll just have them write
Or
it by
AIDS
hand.
test.
We'll have it
No
write it
way.
by hand,
Oh,
which
yeah.
will look crazier. Like if you get a box that handwritten it says AIDS test on it delivered to your door, that's creepy.
The only thing I catch now are the Amazon delivery packages because they're just put in front of the door.
Yeah.
Like the general mail, I never pay attention to, and I never
You're
have.
fancier than me on that. You win.
I never have.
Well,
paid
you win
attention to
that
it.
one because it's directly to your door. I have to walk to one of those big communal boxes like an animal.
Oh yeah. I forgot it. Yeah. And then they don't put any even big packages. They put them.
We have a box.
Some big box.
Yeah, we have a big box that like they can put a package in it. So if something gets delivered, it's usually like you get another key.
Yeah.
The
For a big
key.
box delivery.
I feel kind of fancy when I do that though.
Yeah. Well,
It's fun. It's a double adrenaline dump, right? It's like you get the key, so you get a little bit of adrenaline, and then when you open the box, you get the rush. So you get like a little bit, a little bit extra. We got to get out of here, buddy. Anything to plug Hey, sign up to be a BDM if you're not one. We're gonna I'm actually planning a tiny Twitch party. Not that signing up to be a BDM has anything to do with Twitch, but for the Twitch guys, we're going to plan like a little pinball pizza party here at the studio. So if you've ever wanted to check out the studio, join our Twitch page, participate in the chat, and we'll get you down here for a little pinball party. Also, we're doing BDM Appreciation Week in April. The stickers we have planned for that, some of the logos and stuff that we have planned for that is going to be killer. We're going to be really cool. We've been doing this for the past few years where we do a $5 BDM shirt. And then we're throwing in extra stuff from sponsors. We tried to get it to $1. Prizes. Yeah. We tried to get it to $1. Thanks, Biden. Thanks a lot. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. And so we do that in April. We'll put the shirts up for sale end of March. And who's this? Thanks for calling a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Who's this?
This is Derek Dunn again.
Hey, what's going on, man? What's on your mind?
I was just calling to plug the local Southern Illinois bowling alley there. I do a lot of selling and merchandising up out of the building there, and I figured I'd give them a holler. All right. So you're calling to plug the local what bowling alley? Ludwig's Pub Bowling Alley, Salem, Illinois.
That sounds fun as hell. I want to go to Ludwig's Pub in Illinois.
Now, I'm a little skeptical, sir, because majority of our audience,
Central Florida,
Central
yeah.
Florida. We do have some in
Hey,
Illinois.
free advertisement. This guy's smart. This guy's smart.
I don't
Shoot
know.
your shot.
You know that, right?
Yeah. I'm just a big fan there, and I figured I'd call in. And, down here in Southern Illinois, we got a lot of things going on. Big pizzas down there and open lanes constantly. And I'm currently a 40-year-old up-and-coming bowler and looking to get my name out there.
All right.
You also. Is this the first time we've ever actually talked to A.i? A.i. Did you know A.i. was a fat Illinois bowler?
I think this may be A.i. calling us.
Are you A.i.? Wait, are you calling from the future?
Well, I tell you what.
That's a yes.
We're talking about if we're talking about the future, then you're probably going to be seeing me here for too long. I'll be on the PBA circuit.
All right.
What the hell is happening? I love this.
So first, you sound way older than 40, but that's fine.
Yeah.
And second,
you're a little huffy puffy, if you know what I mean.
A
little out of breath.
How good of a bowler are you?
Oh, I got an average of about 136. Like I said, I'm an up-and-comer there.
You better get
So
the
you
work.
really like to oil them legs up and get them lubed up, so you never know how they're going to roll.
Lubed up. All right, thank you for calling. Is that Ross? That was Ross trying a new character.
Is that a new character?
It's a good one. I got
Illinois bowler.
Yeah, the horny Illinois bowler. I like that one. That was a good character. Add that to add it to the R team, right? The Illinois bowler, the Illinois up and coming bowler with an average of 136. I can bowl that. I can bowl a 136.
What the hell is going on? All right,
let's get out of here.
We will see you tomorrow.
That was hilarious. Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
So what did you want to tell me about Snoop Dogg?
What did you know? Like I kind of feel like why did I miss this? Why did this just happen in 2023 apparently? Where was this when Tommy and Max and Maisie were young? Did you know that Snoop Dogg has a kids nursery rhyme show called Doggyland?
I did not.
Well, I'm about to play some Doggyland for you. This is the song Parents Are Great, which is Snoop Dogg would never say that, by the way. Ever. He would never say this is exactly what happened to Howard Stern. You got women sitting on a Simeon, and then 10 years later you're drinking Snapple and you're telling a boy with Down syndrome that he's the most inspirational singer you've ever seen. Right? Like that's not here is Snoop Dogg. This is and for those of you with kids, I mean, he's got a whole...
It is outside of his brand,
Yeah.
but I guess not the current Snoop Dogg.
This is Parents Are Great by Snoop Dogg. Doggyland.
Wow, wow.
Wow, wow, wow.
Wow, wow, wow.
Wow, wow, wow.
When you're done playing with your toys, what should you do?
My mom and dad say to clean up my toys when I'm done playing.
I like the dumb white guy is that.
So it's just his voice.
Snoop Dogg's like, my mom and dad say it. Hey, what up, cousin? You got to pick up your toys, big boy.
Now,
what's crack? I like it. You got to pick up these toys.
I wonder.
That's right.
Who
you should
convinced
listen
him?
to your parents. They love you and know what's best for you.
Parents are great.
Hold on. This is 2 years ago, so maybe the technology wasn't there, or maybe they had it before we were exposed to it.
No, this isn't AI.
Oh, okay. Because I was like,
no.
did they just lend it his
No.
did you just have him record like a paragraph and then
and his name is not Snoop Dogg in Doggyland. His name is Bow Wizzle.
Because I started looking at it, I was like, did he go into a recording studio and record this like a cartoon? Because
It's possible. I don't think this is AI, though. These are just cartoon dogs dancing, and I think this is actual music. Grown-ups are great. They know the way. Listen to what they say. Okay, what do you think of that? What do you think of Bow Wizzle and Doggyland?
I don't know if anybody wanted this. That's what I think. Like, I don't know if anybody hey, I wish Snoop Dogg did an animated cartoon where my kids can watch it.
It's
and then,
not anything that Snoop Dogg would ever say, though. Parents are great. It's the first time he's ever said that phrase in his life.
That's what makes me think that maybe he just through some voice software, they were like, hey, just lend your voice, read this paragraph, and then we'll do everything else. And then so
I was challenged on the Tom and Dan Reddit. Like somebody on the Reddit put this up there, and thank you again for participating and putting this up there for us to talk about, and said, I think Dan could do better with AI. And I believe I did. Unbeknownst to you, behind the scenes, I have worked on a real Snoop Dogg children's song.
Okay.
That also sounds like Snoop Dogg.
All right.
And it's more, I think it's more on brand for Snoop than this garbage. This is not Snoop.
Okay, so how'd you make a Snoop Dogg AI
There
voice?
There are ways. I didn't have to load Snoop Dogg's voice in any way.
Okay.
But if you can trick the computer into reading Snoop Dogg or the word Snoop Dogg without the censor catching the word Snoop Dogg or the name, the what do they call
the spelling?
Yeah, if you can what do they call it? A specific name, like a private name.
Okay.
Like if you can trick it, then you can actually get it to do anything you want. So here's mine.
Well, how do you trick it?
So for if you wanted a song that sounded like Limp Bizkit, then you need to spell like LEMPPBIZCUITTE.
And then, so it knows, it's like, oh, this guy's trying to get around the rules.
I don't know if it knows. I don't know if it knows, but that's what. Okay,
but
you want to hear
make it?
Oh,
yes, I do. I'm curious.
Okay, I think I did. I think I hit a home run with this. This is Snoop Dogg written by me. The song is called "Single Dad." Here we go.
When the dad says jump, you say how high. I'm dad, mother. Do what I say or you die. It's just me and you, cause your mama's a hoe, a broke ass, single dad in Orlando.
Listen to your dad. I know he's a piece of shit, but he's all that you got until you can't escape it. Single dad, why you so bad? Single dad, he gets so mad.
Shut the f up, you fucking mistake. I should have never f***ed your whole ass mom. Come on.
What do you think? That beginning goes, though, right? The beginning of Snoop. Listen to this beginning again, dude. I got Snoop. Listen to Snoop again. Here.
You caused yourself a lot of editing.
You say how high. I'm dad, mother. Do what I say or you die. It's just me and you, cause your mama's a hoe, a broke ass, single dad in Orlando.
That dude, I'm telling you, that's Snoop. That's a Snoop Dogg cadence. I got it.
It has the Snoop Dogg cadence.
Got the cadence.
It maybe massage it a little more till.
I got it.
But it for sure.
A broke ass dad in Orlando, baby Bubba.
Like by spelling the name wrong,
you
tricked it into getting the essence of it.
Thank you, Kendall. Kendall in our Twitch chat room said he heard mystical. That's because I spelled mystical wrong too. The guy screaming at the end that's like, I should have never ifed you broke that. That guy, that's mystical. That's digital mystical. So I made a digital Snoop and a digital mystical, and they're my friends. And I write songs with them now.
So do you okay.
That's so funny that you picked up on that. So for that one, I put in I spelled. I tried to do Nate Dogg. I don't think he's well known enough to flag, right? So the word Snoop Dogg probably top 3 most famous rappers of all time, right?
Because if you put Snoop Dogg in there, it'll
flag it.
It'll just say error.
It'll flag it.
Okay.
You can't even put Snoop. It'll flag it.
Because the business, Sonos or whatever, is that it?
No, this one is Suno.ai.
Okay, Suno.
Sonos is a speaker company, but good try, Grandpa. I like that. Sonos, right? The Digifiles.
So this company obviously is trying to protect itself from lawsuits.
But not that much. It's kind of like Elon Musk. They're protecting themselves, but not that much. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's weird how they're, I believe that they know what they're doing. That is the essence of Snoop Dogg. Do I believe that should be shut down? I do. I do believe that. I don't believe that you should be able to go to a machine
Now,
and have it steal the essence of Snoop Dogg. I don't like that. I don't.
The thing though, no one would believe that is actual Snoop Dogg. It doesn't sound enough like him to trick someone to thinking it's Snoop Dogg. But
I think you're
style,
underestimating how stupid people are.
You're stealing his style. And I guess everybody does that, right? Like everybody
Depends on how much you do.
Borrows from the style of.
Well, that's called influence.
What they're yeah.
Influence is different than stealing someone's complete style. Anyway, I thought it was pretty cool.
So do you think, like going back to my theory that Snoop Dogg just recorded his voice and then they are just using it in this cartoon so he doesn't have to go and read off a script? I'm sure he's at his own home studio now, so it's easier than ever.
He's probably had it for years.
Yeah. So he doesn't have to go anywhere. He just goes into his room in his mansion and then records a script. But
the chat room's asking if you can write in the style of. Yeah, you can, but sometimes it doesn't even want to do that. Like you almost have to
But if you spell his name wrong, then it will do it.
It will.
Yeah.
It'll come closer to doing that. But sometimes you can spell it so wrong it doesn't even know what it is. It really is like rolling dice. It's not. You're not doing anything. And that's what I try to tell people.
We're just putting in prompts and hoping that.
Now, the one thing that I will give myself credit with is that I'm good with cadences. I'm good with alliteration. I'm good with bending words to fit a poem. I'm good with that. I can write a poem.
Yeah.
I'm really good at that.
Yeah.
But that's all I'm doing.
Yeah. And then it's putting it all together.
Yeah.
But so in the future, if they won't do this with any sort of big project like a Pixar movie. Obviously, it's, there's way too much money in the line. But for
depends on how good it gets, right?
Throwaway stuff and if you're a celebrity and you got to recognize
Pat
voice.
McAfee used it for college football. That's the only place I've seen it.
Wait, with what?
He did like a. You didn't see that video where the McAfee had they did like a theme song for the college football playoffs, and then they played it and it's like a cartoon, but you could tell that the actual song was written by A.i, and then him and the guys are all clapping afterwards and stuff.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. It was like a couple months ago, when we started playoffs. And
I've listened to some fantasy football podcasts. They're all using A.i now.
Yeah.
They're using it to write on their website stats and updates and reports for players and stuff.
Yeah.
They're just using A.i to do all that. But back to lending your voice to whatever, obviously, for instance, you're Snoop Dogg and you don't want to start, having to do the pain in the ass of reading scripts every Friday for this cartoon that you're putting out, right? And
that's why you need a brother like Tom Hanks. You need Gary Hanks to come in and do all the
voiceover.
He has I forget his brother's name, but for all the Toy Story cartoons, toys, and video games, his brother does Woody.
Yeah.
So they have kind of separated the two. He's the main Woody, and then the auxiliary, the step down. It's almost like being a Santa Claus at the mall. You're like a Woody helper.
I'm sure nowadays they just take his voice and insert it into all these different characters because the technology is good enough now.
I don't know. I don't know if they would.
Well, I mean,
it depends on how quick. Here's where there's still strengths. Getting Gary Hanks, I forget his brother's real name, but getting Tom Hanks' brother to cut it is going to save you more time. It's going to be faster because you can tell him exactly what to say and he'll do it exactly the way you say it. Versus A.i, there's almost this randomness you have to massage, which is a bit of a time suck.
Yeah. Well,
it'll get better though.
Like I said, for really big, important movies, they wouldn't do this. But for throwaway cartoons or for projects that you're like, I don't care, I lend my voice to this, just pay me for it.
Yeah.
And then it's just you just, have them take your voice and do whatever they want with it.
Yeah.
It's with your permission. But, you're going to infinite cartoons. Who cares? It'll read each script. We even mess around with it a little bit.
Yeah, we have.
In cheap consumer grade versions. And did we ever play any of those commercials that we read a little paragraph?
I ran out of credits, and it's one of the ones I don't truly subscribe to. Everything you do now is small, tiny microtransactions of you need, for everything you do in the A.i world, you need Bitcoin to buy credits, and then every time you use A.i, it's you got to use 6-digit credits. I'm like, can't you just make it $3 a transaction? Why do we got to make everything the future?
Or unlimited for a monthly fee, but they probably have that, right? Like you pay
No.
that. It's everything is
No,
a
I
la
mean,
carte.
yeah, everything seemed like even the music that we do is we have a finite amount of credits. So I have to be careful with it. Like you can burn them fast.
Yeah, then you're just wasting a bunch of money unless yeah. And I'm kind of glad it decreases the digital garbage that we're filling the internet up with and servers around the world. Like that is something I never thought I'd ever even think about in the back of my mind.
Every click is one Amazon fish dead. You click it, boom, like the fish is dead. One click, rainforest tree gone, incinerated.
Even when I'll take, and I'm sure everybody does this, or if you want to remember something, I write something down, and then I'm like, I need to put this in my phone. Instead of rewriting it on my notepad or whatever, just take a picture of it. And I'm taking this like high pixel rate, super large file picture of some nonsense that I wrote, just so I can go to my pictures and say,
like BDM sticker.
And then and then you fill your phone with it, and then you get extra storage or whatever, and then you realize you're like, man, I have a lot of this digital garbage, even that I'm storing for no reason. And then I know you can have programs that go clean it out and like whatever, but I'm too lazy to go
And I don't
through
trust
there.
those because normally when I use any of those programs that are made to clean files, I remember when it was all the rage to have like some of those programs clean up your iTunes. All it did was junk up my computer with more like some sort of garbage, like trying to sell me more crap. All of them are scams. They're like, oh, we'll organize this once you watch all of our videos or whatever. Everything's a scam. Everything's opportunist. No free will.
That has nothing to do with this.
I just wanted to yell that.
It's just everybody trying to make a buck. And it's, even with like when we're researching stuff for the show, the amount of times that I click on a story and then it's like, if you want to read the story, you have to pay, subscribe, or sign up, give me your email, and then it's free, but we just need your email. And I'm like, and then I'll just search the headline of the story, and I'll find it.
You can find it.
Because it's all written by AI anyway or something. It's all nonsense. And I'm like, God, it is turning into...
nothing. It's turning into a nothing.
Yeah. Like
I've been doing this lately. Tell me if you like this. So we get a lot of, especially... We are working, I believe you and I are working in one of the most spammed email professions of anything. Like the number of spam emails I get from people that want to just take advantage of podcasters is off the chart. And they're always AI generated. And this is how they try to get you. They try to overly humanize themselves. What I mean by that is like when they write the email, they'll be like, hey, Dan, it's Jerry. I'm taking over for Samantha, who used to be your contact with XJ1 AI. I'm like, no, this is all fake. You're making this. It never happened. So I copy and paste their entire email because they're usually long. If they're long, it was always AI written. Humans don't write that much. So you copy the whole thing, put it into ChatGPT, and then I have them write a snarky email back. So now I just have the robots fighting with each other. I just have robots replying to. So I get spam, and then I have my robots spam them back. It's a war. It's a spam war.
Yeah, but you're spamming someone who doesn't care.
Yeah,
right?
yes, I am. And all the while, the energy I'm using, killing the rainforest. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think of my plan?
I like the fact that, and I think about this, I'm like, at least someone's learning how we could do this. because I can't. So I'm like, I'm relying on you.
On me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
because this is
AI?
the future.
Yeah, but I'm sick of it. I hate it.
No, you can't hate it.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
We'll never hire anybody to do anything.
I know.
You showed me that we could do everything.
Did you take the job postings down? We had a lot. We had a lot of job postings, and we've taken them all down. Last night, I was working on something. Last night, I sent you that logo, a BDM logo that I just wanted to try. I knew I could do it, and I sent it to you. And it is empowering when you can like do things like when you can draw and you're not truly an artist. It's empowering. You feel like a god, right?
I heard Neil deGrasse Tyson on TikTok talk about the end of the internet or whatever, and I know we talked about it, but he was like, the people that think everything's fake news, right, and everything's fake, and then they'll start to even eventually believe that the news they thought was real was fake news. because it does. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right, yeah.
because they're skeptical, right? So it's like if you are like, oh, this is not real, fake news, and then you're like, I only listen to this because they tell the truth. Then you hear something you don't like or you're like skeptical of, and you're like, well, this is fake news. And then you can only do that so much where all of a sudden everything's fake, and then now you've gotten to a point where you don't believe
I'm
anything.
drowning now. I don't know what to do.
And so then what happens then is like, well, you distrust everything you've ever seen on the internet.
Well, I think there's
and
two
then
ways.
Now it's dead.
But I think there's two ways. I think you either distrust or you go into what I'm kind of like an apoplectic, not caring state.
Yeah.
And I do feel like a lot of my contemporaries and people I talk to are in that not caring phase of like, well, we don't know what to believe. I'm waiting to die.
Yeah. Really,
right?
I'll wait and if something real happens, and if something real happens, I'll feel the heat.
I like that. Yeah.
I'll see the explosion
Yeah.
and the light that comes, or the blast. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. We will see you tomorrow. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch and YouTube. Go there and search at Tom and Dan Live. Support your local podcast that has now become a live stream.
On the couch, sitting on pillows of their own faces, which has caused a lot of confusion with the guests throughout the years.
They're strange pillows.
To the point of
Some
where
people put those pillows under their butts. Some people put them to hide their crotches.
Because everybody always asks, who are these people on the pillows?
Yeah.
And then
and some people recognize your wife, and they're
Who's
like,
that man with
who's
her?
that man with your wife multiple times at Christmas?
And
I say that's her first marriage. They have children, but they work it out so the kids have a normal Christmas.
Before I can even
Right?
respond, Daniel starts with joke answers, which causes confusion with
like
the guests, and then it snowballs
I
down.
say Tommy and Max were originally born. They're Bart's sons, but Tom raises them because Bart didn't want to have anything to do with it.
The Bart Marek team is here. How
I
you
don't
doing?
say that.
What's going on, guys?
I wouldn't make you look like that, Bart. I don't say that.
Bart
the
Marek.
first pillow was just a joke. It was something I bought on
No, yeah,
some
yeah.
website
I thought
for
it was
like
like
$15.
an accident, wasn't it? You ordered the cards and then they sent a pillow as a like, hey, you bought so many
It's an
cards. Here's a
incentive.
pillow.
I was
or
ordering
Yeah.
the Christmas cards, and as you're checking out, it goes, would you like to buy a pillow with the picture on it? Or a coffee mug, or whatever.
Yeah,
All sorts
yeah.
of different things. So I figured I'd order one, send it over.
Yeah.
Now I got a whole...
And then it's become a tradition. There's more at the Airbnb.
Airbnb.
Yeah, we have multiples of them.
Yeah.
We do have a phone call quickly
Oh.
before we... thanks for calling A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. Who's this?
Hey, Dan, it's LJ, South Carolina.
Hey, what's going on, man? We do have the Bart Marek team here. So if you are calling about something disgusting, I will ask politely that you not say it. And if it is something disgusting, I will hang up on you, and then you can call back and leave a voicemail message, okay?
Well, I was just calling since Tom said Thursdays at 1 was open phone line.
I know.
Oh.
We've already...
I forgot about it.
We've already forgotten our own bid.
No, we can do open phone lines. What do you want to
It's
talk
open-
about?
Okay, today is open phone lines with the Bart Marek team. Ask your realtor question live.
You got a question for the Bart Marek team?
No, I just had a short story about picking up some Hispanics from Home Depot.
Perfect. Perfect. That's on brand.
Yeah.
The Bart Marek team supports our Latin brethren.
Close enough. Go ahead.
So I own my own GC, and I usually pick up, day hands from Home Depot or Lowe's or whatnot. And I picked up 3 Hispanic gentlemen the other morning, driving them to the job site. They rode in the bed of the truck. And I started hearing thumping on my roof, and I didn't know what in the world was going on. And I brake checked them a little bit to get them to stop. And,
Sit down back there.
You didn't,
Yeah,
you
sit
didn't
down
ask-
back there, you savages.
Yeah, you weren't like, is there an emergency?
I'm going to brake check them down.
Don't make me get my whip.
Don't make me make you spill your big gulp. I'll brake check you till you spill your big gulp. Sit down back there.
No, I've picked them up before. They're pretty good dudes. But anyways, they just kept banging on the roof, and I didn't know what was going on. So anyways, get to the job site, they get out, they all scurry off and go do their thing, and I look in the bed of my truck.
They're not roaches. Jesus Christ, man.
There's literally in the bed of my truck about a 4-inch turd.
They pooped in your truck.
He was letting you know. Well, normally, what
That's
kind of
why-
truck do you
yeah.
have?
Also-
hold on, what kind of truck do you have?
Small poop.
An F-150.
Okay, they normally do put the flush button on the top of the. They normally put the flush button on the top of the cab. You got to hit it 6 times. They'll flush it right out.
So were they
flush
trying
it right out the left tail light?
Were they trying to warn you that
I don't know if they were trying to warn me or if when I brake checked them, that's when shit literally went down.
Oh, come on, man. What did I say? What did I say at the beginning of this call?
So they do it in the back of your truck.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Now, you would think, though, that would be counterproductive to the goal of getting paid for that day.
It's better than getting arrested for crapping out the back of the truck while he's going down the road.
Well,
surprisingly, none of them admitted to it. So I grabbed the hose and made all 3 of them stand there and spray it out of the bed of my truck.
Oh, what are you? Their dad? Oh, come on. Spray it out of there.
Hold on. How awkward is that conversation where you're like, hey, get back here. Someone doo-dooed in my truck. Spray it out now.
Yeah,
And
all right.
You stand there with your arms crossed.
Spray it out. I see some nugs.
They didn't know what I was saying. I didn't know what they were saying. I
Maybe-
just pointed, and they all looked at each other in guilt.
Maybe it was already there, and they were letting you know, like, hey, man, there's somebody pooped back here. I'm not
You know what?
riding.
I like your positive
I'm
answer.
not riding to work in these conditions.
I like your positive answer. That's, you know what? That's a good American giving that answer.
All right,
Okay.
nice real estate topic.
Thanks for calling.
Crystal always feels bad for the perpetrator.
Well, you don't
She
know
tries
that
to
it was-
defend them.
She's right. I mean, she's a damn good attorney. I tell you right now, if I crap in somebody's truck, I know who I'm calling to defend me. It's going to be Crystal Vann, the Bart Marek team.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'll cut that part out if you'd like, Bart.
Yeah. Was John Bonet really annoying?
Wow, defending a monster.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have said
Was
that.
that me? Or was that somebody?
No, I was saying that
well, I
you're
don't know.
defending.
You said I defend the perpetrator.
Yeah. And I've never heard the story about
Well, I'm
her
just
pooping
saying
in the back of a truck.
I'm
I
sorry.
never heard that
Shouldn't
one.
have said that.
All right.
Oh, child
Sorry.
murder.
Yeah,
It's
why'd
bad
you
for
bring that
business.
up?
I paused. I was like, I shouldn't say it. Then I'm like, say it,
Yeah.
you P word.
By the way, this is the team your wife is on. You invite them in, and you're like, child murder.
I have guys call it about doo-dooing their truck.
Next
so,
caller.
all right.
All right, quickly into the next hard
Yeah.
left turn.
Let's real quick, and then I got
A hard left turd.
I
see what you did there.
I have a story for you guys that involves Crystal.
Is this gripes? Hold on.
No, not gripes. No, not
Just
gripes.
observations. They are not just gripes. These are just things I noticed while I'm living my life.
I'm just living my life.
I'm not complaining about my loving wife. These are just observations. They are not just gripes.
They're not gripes.
About my wife. These are just observations. They are not just gripes. They are not just gripes.
Who is that?
About my wife.
It's Digital Nate
Is
Dogg.
that AI?
Yeah.
Oh, but did you put in Nate Dogg? 'Cause
Yeah,
it
yeah.
really did sound a little.
It's Digital
familiar.
Nate Dogg. Tom is not kidding when he says that they are my only friends. That's Digital Nate Dogg. You'll meet him later.
We live in a world now where you can steal anything and everything.
Yeah,
art doesn't
and I'm
has
just
no
gonna
value.
I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't think I was gay, but I might be falling in love with Digital Nate Dogg.
So let's talk about like purchasing a house, because I know from experience at this point in time, I've heard Crystal do so many house transactions, and she's told me
That
so
you
much.
think you can do it.
Oh, I can do it.
Okay.
yeah.
God, that's the meanest thing you say. It really is.
Well, she thinks she can do my job. She tells me all the time.
sometimes.
You should go with Crystal and try to
She's
sell a house.
really funny. Have you?
Oh, I can sell it.
Oh man, have you ever heard her tell a story? She's really good and very funny.
Well,
and she laughs sometimes at my jokes.
Well, first, if I pull up with a client, I'm like, you're going to buy this? You're not going to waste my damn time? That's the first thing I'm going to say. I'm like, do you really want to buy this, or are you just looking around?
I'm not opening this door for some looky-loo.
Yeah. Like, I need proof. Do you text your wife that you like this and you were going to buy it?
You listen to me good. Before we go
Yeah.
in there, I don't want one word about a ceiling fan. They can be changed, you moron.
Yeah. I don't care about the color of the house,
Yeah.
all whatever. You gonna buy it or not? I'm not even driving that. I'm at home right now. Like, I need to know 95% you're gonna buy it.
Now,
Anyway.
it's more likely, though, that you would be in the house telling them all of your knowledge, and they would be inching towards the door, backing away.
Oh, yeah,
slowly,
wasting their
trying
time.
to get
Yeah.
away.
Oh, yeah,
You're
yeah.
wasting their time.
I love wasting people's time.
No, we don't.
We'll
be right back.
Back to the topic. So the best the best time to sell your house is the spring or the
we're coming
early
up
summer?
to it. Usually it starts picking up somewhere around the middle of February, beginning of March, and then it cooks. It gets real good through about June. Once we cross into the 4th of July, slows down until we get closer to August,
After
September,
Labor Day.
somewhere in there.
Yeah, I'd say after Labor
Then we
Day.
get a little bump into November, and then it slows down. And where we're at right now is we're coming out of the holidays, so it's slow, and we can feel it picking up right now. We're getting calls, but it probably won't be business as usual for another 3-4 weeks.
But you do have to prepare because a lot of people I want to sell my house, and there are there's things that you have to do sometimes, and then
one of the things I would do is hose the turds out of my truck before people come over.
Yeah.
Clean up a little bit.
And how long does that preparation usually take for the average seller?
Well, we will come out and usually walk through a house with an owner and give advice on how to prep the house for sale.
You should have Tom do that.
We do that months in advance. You want to come?
I'd video that. Oh my!
But we could do that months in advance. We could do it 2 days before we list. We could do it, we could usually get a house listed in about 2 to 3 days.
We don't usually recommend that a lot of money or time be spent prepping a house unless it really needs it. There's a couple little points that we tell you, to make sure you focus on, but for the most part, we're not in there telling you to renovate and.
I like it.
I feel like Tom would tell me to renovate. I feel like that's the difference in the Bart Marek team and the Tom Vann team.
Who built this?
Yeah. It's like he's gonna be banging on things. He moving it. And
He's Dwight Schrute at the top of the stairs.
Try to make me feel
this banister is loose.
Yeah. Then he tried to make me feel stupid about something I said in front of him. And he was like, "Actually, it's not. But actually,
I don't know."
My all-time favorite thing is when and this is not based on no example, just my own imagination. Is when someone lives in a house for, let's say, a decade, right? And then right before they sell it, they change everything to the way they really wanted it, and then right before it's sold, they're like, "I wish I lived here."
Yeah. A lot of people do that.
And they're like, "Why did you? You should have done that at the beginning and lived the quality of life for 10 years. Why'd you do it right before you sold it?"
You're 100% right. I know people right now that are doing that. They're literally renovating a house they're selling, and the more they renovate, the more they're like, "We love this." And I'm like, "Well, what are you doing? What are you doing? Stop!
And then you have to sell the thing you love."
Sometimes Bart and I will the main thing we tell people is to declutter, because that's, I think, most people's problem is clutter, because you live in your house. There's stuff everywhere. It's just the nature of living
there. It's
there.
supposed to be cluttered, I think.
You got your stuff out. That's how it is.
Yeah, it's humans.
But when you have somebody coming through then they want to buy it and they want to see themselves living there and they want to see their stuff there. They don't want your stuff everywhere, because then it clouds their mind, So we'll have people declutter, and then we come back and we take pictures. We send the pictures, and then they say, "Wow, this place looks so nice. I'd buy this house if I saw it online."
It's
it's like, why didn't you clean?
So most of the time, you guys are just showing people how filthy their houses are.
It's a delicate conversation because you don't want to insult anyone, And
have you ever accidentally?
No,
I'm sure I said something.
What is fascinating is that
you ever
people
been caught on a Ring camera, like those
Not that I'm aware.
firefighters? You see those firefighters got caught on the Ring camera. The one firefighter, he was like, "This is what happened when we let women vote." and then everybody's like, and he was saying it to a woman. He's like, "See what happens when we let you vote?"
By the way,
it was a joke, obviously.
He probably has a good relationship with that person. He's joking with her.
100%.
But then you get it out of context.
Oh, 100%. And that guy's good. He's as bad as Dog the Bounty Hunter. He's done. He's done.
I know lots of firefighters personally. That's how they think. 100%.
In fact, they told me that I go, "What do you think about when the water hits the fire?" They're like, "That women vote." I asked them that.
They're like, "I pretend I'm putting out the fire of women voting."
Yeah, they have a burning desire to vote in their heart, and I pretend the water is sizzling it out. That's facts. That's just governmental fact.
Sorry, what we were talking about?
This is the worst one we've ever done. I don't know what I think it's been too long since we've had the team in here.
Oh.
Well, you were talking about how long it takes to prep
Yes.
to sell your house. And, really, we can have it up in a couple of days. It doesn't take that long to prep.
The only things we really recommend that you do prior to selling your home is getting it insurance ready so that the buyer isn't going to have a hard time getting a policy on it. And that can be things like the roof, or maybe, and these aren't cheap things, but if you have a roof that's older than 15 years, you're probably going to need to address that. If, there's old electrical panels that may need to be addressed. Sometimes plumbing, if you got polybutylene, that needs to be taken care of. There are things in there that will affect the buyer's ability to get insurance. And if they can't get insurance, it's going to reduce the value of the home. substantially.
Because they can't get a loan.
Right.
Because the bank's going to be like, you have to fix these problems before you can sell this house.
And it therefore decreases the number of buyers and the number of offers you can get on it, and therefore decreases the value.
So if I were doing let's say I'm doing some work around my house and getting it like ready for sale, would you advise me to call 811, Sunshine 811, before digging? That's a question for the chat room. That's a question from Kupo J in the chat room. Kupo J in the chat room wants to know if...
Do you know? Because Crystal, we already talked about it, but Crystal,
I'm
kidding.
This
is not even the gripe. I have a whole different. But
that wasn't even the one.
No, but I called the number. Now my email is flooded
all morning
with companies. They're like, no, don't do nothing.
They're like, stop, leave your house, don't do anything.
Companies I don't even know, like Xfinity is emailing me.
That's your fault for going to a website and entering your information.
Well, you said don't screw this up.
He went to dig.com.
All I told you to do was call the county. You went to some website that you entered your information. Now your information's out there. And
they filled out a form. I talked to a lady.
Never fill out the form.
No, the
Everyone
lady filled out a form. He called a lady, and then
they said it's a legal
he
form.
He yelled at me this morning. I go, hey, I got a bid. And he's like, shut up. He's like, I'm on hold with a lady about digging for my dreams. Did you not yell at me?
Now I'm getting a million emails yelling at me to stop digging, and then I'm getting email. I'm in the system. And now there's going to be people at the house.
Yeah.
They're going to be out there
they're watching
flags.
you. Oh, they're watching you now.
Yeah.
You can't do anything in your house. Now they're watching you.
If there's a flag in the place I'm digging, I'm kicking it over. I'm digging through that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, there's nothing, no flags going to stop me.
It's been a hard morning here. This lady filled out a digital form for him. Then she said it's going to be months. It could be a month before they get everybody out there to do don't they have to do a diagnostic or a schematic?
Anybody. I'm going to lock the gate. Nobody is allowed in my yard.
I gave him permission.
Yeah, he gave him permission
to do whatever they want.
He gave him permission. They're going to break the gate. They're going to drive. They're going to drive like a Janet Reno, David Koresh style vehicle through, and they're going to take your guns, and you're going to be back there strumming a guitar, trying to get your wife to all sexy. You're going to be back there singing Santeria, and then the Janet Reno vehicle is going to push the doors of your compound down, and you're going to burn alive.
That's not what I wanted to talk about. All right.
We need to talk about this after, because I'm nervous now.
What I did want to talk about is...
Was I not supposed to say that? Kupo, thank you for the assist, buddy.
Is 2 days ago. So 2 days ago, and I loosely discussed the daily plan with Crystal every day, because there's a lot going on. Max has to go to breakdancing.
He's all in on that, man.
And then, there was a scheduled Zoom meeting that me and Crystal planned to attend. And then... Zoom.
For breakdancing.
Not for breakdancing, for a different thing.
Gotcha.
And so Crystal was like, all right, this is what we're doing.
Homeowners Association, I got to do a Zoom meeting.
So she's like, also, I want to go see this movie that Pamela Anderson's in.
Is it called I Look Ugly Now?
Don't laugh at that part.
It will kill your business. Did you hear that? Pamela Anderson was like, I got somebody on a plane thought I was the ugly Dixie chick.
Oh, just got 4 firefighter emails on his other house. So Crystal's like, I want to see this new Pam Anderson movie with my sister. And so I'm like, all right. And it's the same time. So she's like,
Baywatch. Old.
You're going to have to take Max to breakdancing. And then she's like, oh, I moved it up. And she's like, so that I can pick up Tommy. So Tommy, because we don't want to leave. We'll leave both kids at the house, but not one. Because it seems like more dangerous to leave one, and they have no experience by themselves.
Very complicated kid system. I can only leave one alone.
Yeah.
Well, they're 9 and 10, and I'm okay if they're together. They're looking out for each other, But if one of them's there, I don't know. Especially Tommy.
Look, it's different.
Tommy's like his dad. He's off in the clouds.
You were left alone at that age, right?
I was 100%. I was left overnight at that age.
Yeah. Well, how were you
Kristen's
supposed
to fly across the country by herself?
You had your first cigarette at 9.
I was 11.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to smoke so bad lately. Oh God.
Oh, me too.
Let's do it.
Let's all just.
You want to?
Who's got them? I'll start smoking right now.
You want to end this segment, the worst Bart Marek theme segment we've ever done. We should end by going, do you want to sell or buy a house? We smoke cigarettes. Is that good enough for you?
We're smoking up this whole room.
I always wanted to dress like Peg Bundy and like be a Peg Bundy realtor, smoke a
Hold on
long
a second.
cigarette.
That's kind of hot.
That's what I want.
That's low-key kind of hot. Yeah, I know what you want.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
I know what you want. You want to put your hand in your pants and cross that football line.
By the way, I'm mad at Al Bundy. You turn that down. You're like, oh, okay, she wants it again. Who says that?
No.
That's not a thing.
That was the joke.
That was the 80s.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't even be a joke because I'm mad at that. Anyway, so back to, so there's some scheduling issues. Then Crystal moved her movie up, and then she's like, oh, I moved the movie up, but I realized we have the Zoom meeting to go to. So can you do the Zoom meeting and take the kids?
He can't do Zoom meetings.
To breakdancing and do it all.
He can't do Zoom meetings, though. In there, he tries to do Zoom meetings with our clients, and he's always like, oh, sorry, so we had some internet issues. He lies to them all the time. He's like, he's always lied to them. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, the internet was this, the internet was that. He just can't log in. He doesn't know how to log in.
So throughout my relationship with Crystal.
More of your people are calling for live call.
God damn it.
Thanks for calling a corporate time with Tom and Dan's live call Thursdays that Tom forgot about. Dan speaking. How may I help you?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Ricky here with Podcast Media.
Hey, what's going on, dude? How are you? What's on your mind?
Oh, doing pretty good. Actually, I know it's funny. You had said that Tom called dig.com, so I actually had to pull it up and check it out, and it actually reverts you straight over to the Walt Disney Company.
Dig.com.
What?
Yes.
What Walt Disney Company?
The Walt Disney Company. There's only one, I think.
It takes you to Disney.com?
Yeah. So if you go to dig.com, Walt Disney owns that.
Weird.
Damned if they do. Yeah, you go to dig.com and it goes right to the Walt Disney Company, and it's a big.
So therefore, Tom, so Tom did not go to dig.com before he did that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I lie a lot, sir. I'm sorry. Did I burst your bubble?
Making a joke. It was probably like.
Oh, Ricky, I lie a lot, buddy. I'm sorry. Most, like 99% of the stuff that I've said on the show is lies. All lies.
Yeah, joking around
I
because
thought they
that's
knew.
Yeah, I think he does. He's just playing around.
Anyway, back to. So,
all right, get to the gripe already, Jesus.
So Crystal's like.
She moved her movie. What movie is it, by the way? Can we ask? Or is
it was The Last Showgirl.
Yeah, that was
like a little independent film at Pam Anderson.
She get naked?
No.
I don't want to see it then.
Yeah, and also not good. Crystal told me.
Not that good.
I understand the point of it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
is Yasmin Bleeth in it at all?
I don't know who that is.
She's my favorite Baywatch girl.
I tell Crystal, of course I could do all these things because that's what I always say when she asks me, "Can you do this?" Because I can never admit to her that I can't do something or that I'm going to struggle.
Yeah.
Because
or to your sons.
I already know you're going to struggle.
Yeah.
Or to your sons, right? You don't
do
admit
anything.
Do you ever admit to your sons your weaknesses?
Never.
Yeah.
I say I could do anything. Whatever you throw.
Like
at me,
I will
I'll
look
take.
into Maisie's eyes and be like, "Your father's too weak to get another beer. You need to bring him a beer. He's too weak to get it."
So now, but I knew in the back of my head this is going to be challenging, is going to be rough for me. So Crystal takes off with her sister to go enjoy a movie.
Yeah. Gallivanting across Central Florida.
While I'm in charge of going to the Zoom meeting, taking the kids, both of them, to breakdancing, getting Max on time.
Let me ask you a serious question.
Feeding them dinner too.
I like to think of myself as an honest person, but let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Is there are they keeping attendance at said Zoom meeting, or can you just say you went to it?
No,
it was something we wanted to participate in.
Okay. Crystal's gonna ask me like, "What'd you learn?" So
can you make it up?
I had to write on the back of my truck registration
some
details because I had no. Who has pen and paper? Anyway, and then I was worried that I was like, I can't use a notepad on my phone because I was afraid that going out of Zoom, then I'd somehow swipe out of it.
Oh yeah, once you're in, you're just staying still.
So is your gripe against me that you cannot handle 3 tasks?
So
That's a legitimate gripe in this building.
So the boys they're playing video games, and I'm like, 10-minute warning, which means nothing to them.
Yeah,
so
yeah, we got all day. This guy's soft. Yeah, 10 minutes. Yeah.
So somehow
he's trying to act tough again.
When I yell at them like, "Hey, we're leaving this house. I'm dead serious in 10 minutes. So whatever you want to bring to breakdancing, and Tommy, whatever you want to, because we're gonna be sitting in the truck for 2 hours. You bring for entertainment. I'm not going to tell you nothing. I'm trying to make them more responsible for their own actions and teach them
By holding them by not holding them accountable. Yeah, I like that.
And then I yelled 5-minute warning or whatever. I'm trying to cook them a pizza, and because Crystal's she's like, cook them something nutritious. Then I got lost in TikTok.
That's the truth.
Only had time for pizza.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
It's toast.
And then I'm like,
It's toast.
it'll be done. They can eat it in the truck, whatever. So I'm like 3-minute warning, and then they're like, what? And
what?
And then
where are we going?
And so I take the pizza out.
They're naked, right? Just in their little. They're in like underoos.
boxers.
Yeah, little boxers running around.
Because I got to get on the Zoom meeting at 6:00 sharp, and then so I'm like, and I needed to be in the Zoom meeting in the truck on the ride to the because I don't want to be like in the Zoom meeting while I'm trying to get in the car. It's
Refresh my memory. What is the Zoom meeting?
Well, it's
it was just something that we had to participate in the other day.
It's
a dream
it's
that
not,
they'll never accomplish. That's what I'm hearing.
It's all dreams.
It's the old sailboat.
It's all some cockamamie dream with me and Crystal.
It's like, hey, we bought a timeshare.
Oh God.
Anyway, so we so then I get the pizza out. I'm like, oh, we gotta be in the car. I gotta get on the Zoom meeting. Mac can't find his shoes, and I'm like, he's like, where's my water bottle?
I bought the timeshare.
I'm like, we don't need water. We didn't drink water in the 80s. Get in. And then I put the pizza on the oven. I'm cutting it up. Whatever.
No, I know.
And then, so I just put down paper towels because I couldn't find anything to cut the pizza on.
Sounds terrible.
So I'm cutting. I put it on paper plates. I put it in my car, and then I go get in the truck, and then I get on the Zoom meeting, and then people are popping up, whatever. And I clicked like no audio, no video.
Yeah.
Partly because I didn't want them to see. I thought it was unprofessional if they see me driving in a Zoom meeting.
Is this the Fairville blowjob course?
No, you can't say that.
Oh,
I didn't tell Crystal about that, by the way. The Fairville thing you're going to is
it's a blowjob course. we signed you and Andrea for a blowjob course. It's fine. It's fine.
Daniel wrote a song about it.
Yeah, it's fine. Anything I write a song about, it's fine.
Anyway, so I get in. I click no audio or video because I don't want to have them see me driving because that's unprofessional. You see some guy driving. He's the only one. Everybody else is at a desk, and then some guy's in his car. So I just
With his kids.
Yeah. So then I click no audio video. Then I put it on my dash. And I'm driving to breakdancing. Right? Kids are eating.
Are you
pizza
able to listen to anything you need to listen to for Crystal?
I'm trying. Yeah, they're talking. But at the beginning of the meeting, they start going through like everybody else has their picture up and their video on. And then they're like, okay, here's this person. And then during the middle of the drive, they're like, who's this iPhone 7, 08 or whatever, starts reading off
who's this guy? He's probably driving with his kids in the car.
And then I'm like, Tom Vann checking in.
Tom Vann, I want to be a...
And they're like, who is it? And then I'm like, Tom Vann. I forget that I'm on mute. Right?
Oh, Grandpa. Grandpa.
So they're like, all right, we're gonna disconnect this person if they don't identify themselves.
No, well, there goes my dream. My sailboat dream.
So I grab the
Disney
phone.
Vacation Club going out the window.
I'm driving right down 436, hauling ass. I got my kids in the back.
God.
And then I'm looking at
this guy's not serious about marathons. Hang up on him.
So then I'm like, how the hell do I go off of mute, right? So then I'm trying to press the
Alexa,
thing.
on mute.
I keep making the screen smaller, bigger, smaller.
All while driving.
Yeah. I'm looking at it, then I'm like, oh my God, I had to slam on the brakes one time because the person stopped in front of me.
Yeah, Max dropped his pizza.
Yeah. So then I finally, like right before, they're like, all right, I'm going to give you 3 seconds to identify yourself. Or
Identify yourself or no sailboat instruction for you.
Or like, we're going to kick you off the Zoom call. I finally figure out how to get off mute, right? Then, so then I get on
Are you screaming like, help?
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, Tom Vann. Like, oh, okay,
we got you. You're accounted for.
So I start doing the meeting, and then I'm driving, and then
Pornhub Anonymous, thank you for checking in, Tom.
We get to the place, the breakdancing place, and then Tommy and Max Max is like, oh, I'm late. So Max gets out of the car, and then I'm telling Tommy, I'm like, there's pizza crumbs everywhere. I'm like, God, like you barely ate too, whatever. I'm yelling at them, and then they're like, oh, what? They stop the meeting. They're like, what? So, iPhone 7, you're not unmuted. We can hear everything you're saying.
Stop
I'm like,
abusing your children.
So I have to go back.
My God. I didn't know about this. That's so embarrassing.
You did not need to scream at your children.
And then I'm like, oh, sorry. And then I couldn't figure out how to get it off mute. So
it's going to be hard to teach you how to raise a mainsail if you're that angry.
So then, after all of this, I was like, man, that was stressful. But I did it. I went through the meeting. I got the kids dinner, got them the pizza,
breakdancing,
got to breakdancing.
breakdancing.
You know, like I'm a GD Father of the Year.
Yeah.
You know, like
you're a regular Mel Gibson.
I bet. I bet I'm going to get handsomely rewarded for this because I took all the responsibilities.
You're three-task Tommy.
Yeah. I cooked the pizza.
Three-task Tommy.
He's three-task Tommy. He can do three tasks.
It's pretty
It's
good.
like pretty normal stuff.
I can't do it. I can't do three tasks.
I took That's what I base everything on. I'm like, I was,
I don't do. Ask Andrew if I can handle one task. I can't.
And then I'm like, I bet Chris is gonna be like, you know what, you've been unbelievable today.
You know what? Drop trowel. You know what? Let's do this.
And then all of a sudden I get a text message, right? I'm like, oh, this is gonna be my reward or maybe some.
Yeah, maybe it's an eggplant emoji.
Maybe some photo of like this is what you're gonna get tonight.
Or maybe it's that emoji face with the guy that's like a shocked wow face. Like, my mouth over.
Yeah. Then with little water emoji squirting out. I know what that means.
Some sprinkles. When I get an eggplant followed by sprinkles, I'm like, yeah.
I know what the sprinkles are. By the way, you need to make white sprinkles for.
Oh God! Come on.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's what everybody uses it for. Why don't the phone companies know?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't use that for taking a shower, Andrea. You know, like, let me put some sprinkles.
And then, so it's a picture. I'm like, oh, is it maybe a sexy picture or something?
Hey.
And then I click on the picture. And it's a close-up of the top of her oven with a slice in it in the glass. And then she's like, I told you.
Multiple slices in the glass. He cut the pizza
How do you slice glass?
He cut the pizza on the
glass top?
And now there's cuts all in it.
Yeah.
So, but he does it all the time. And I tell him, are you using a knife on this? There's cuts all over this. And he's like, no, I'm not. But this time he left.
He lied.
This time he left the pizza and the foil there, and I saw it all cut. You know, and I've been blaming the cleaning lady because she uses a blade to scrape.
Consuelo.
It wasn't her. It was you.
It was not me. It's Mr. Vann.
I love blaming the cleaning lady. I'm like, you stole your stuff. So
who freaking uses a knife on the top of the glass cooker?
Well, who designs an oven where you can easily cut the top of the glass?
That's what a cutting board is for.
What about a pizza cutter? You have a pizza cutter?
Why
are you using a steak knife to cut your pizza? What are you, an animal?
Well, how? It shouldn't be that easy to cut through glass. If someone said, hey, you can easily cut through glass, do people
I'd be doing it all the time.
Do people know that?
Like, I guess
I thought glass was like as strong as anything else.
No, that's Gorilla Glass. You got to get Gorilla Glass.
Anyway, so I did not get rewarded. All this
chat room checking in.
Yelled at about cutting the glass.
Nothing worse than expecting a picture of Big Naturals and instead getting shamed for ruining an oven.
Listen, I don't know how many people out there live with a preteen boy, but that is my experience.
What, you're a preteen boy?
He's it's like everything he does like the first time he's ever done it. He just doesn't know.
Everything?
He puts stuff, like he'll take a liquid thing in a cardboard box and put it on its side to fit it in the fridge, and then it will leak out everywhere. And he'll be like, "Oh, I didn't think that was."
Well, you
happen.
put like cardboard milk on it. What are you doing?
No, like a to-go container with oil in it or something. You know what I mean? Like from a
to like
restaurant.
set it sideways?
Yeah. Well, just without thinking, like, oh, it's gonna drip out the side. It's open or. Cutting on a glass top. You
I
want to
think
shame
it's because
me?
you don't.
I could shame you right now.
Whoa!
Let's go. How much time do I have?
Yeah, you have as much as you want. You're part owner of this company, ma'am.
A lot of people are like me, and I've learned this throughout the years of doing the show.
So
They say I'm just like you, Tom.
But I think
you're
you're fueling it though, because I think these people figure out that there is a play where you're like, I can just walk in and put the container in sideways because I just don't care.
No, it's
right.
No, it's not that I don't care.
People, but I'm not saying
I'm just
you
in
do.
a hurry.
I'm not saying you do. I'm saying that some people probably use that as an excuse, right?
Back to the digging.
Yes, you have the floor.
I begged him,
you have
please. In all these other situations where things are a little like we have a cut on the glass now, we got oil spilling in the fridge. These are all things we can handle. Do not hire a company to come and dig where the storm drain goes through our yard because the storm drain goes right there. So now there's going to be a company in there digging with a big auger or something, and they're going to break the storm drain, and we're going to be the ones have to.
Are you calling this?
Multiple
times. Are you calling this now? Well, let's make a bet. What happened? Let's call it now because you've never been able to have any type of retaliation when these things happen.
Well, he won't do it now that it's out. He won't do it now.
Oh,
now he won't.
I don't think you know him well enough. I think I think no free will. I think he can't not do it. He already called him. He yelled at me this morning. He never yells at me this morning. He's like, shut up! I'm on the phone with a lady. And I'm like, whoa, he means business. He's never said that to me ever. Never.
Like when you buy a house, you get a survey, right? On your survey, it tells you where the utility lines are buried. It tells you where your easements are. On our survey, it literally says that this is, there's a 10-foot easement. There's utilities running there. And there have been multiple occasions, at least 5, where he was digging in the backyard and he cut either our cable or our internet.
I told him, but I know
every
where
time the same spot, and you still do it again.
Well, that line snakes through our yard.
Yeah, so you're like, maybe I won't hit it this time.
It'll fly as a crow flies.
Yeah, there's no straight lines there. I've seen what he's talking about. He's wacky
but
back there.
I'm way over, and this I know. You know how much time I spent in the backyard. I know the lay of the land.
She knows.
I know
she
every
knows how
little
much time you spend back there trying to avoid her. Thanks for calling a corporate time. Who's this?
My name's Walter. I got to be honest with you guys. You ain't going to believe this, but I'm from Illinois as well.
No, you're not.
You're the had an Illinois bowl.
You're the same guy. You're the same guy.
All right, Walter.
I am.
You're the same guy.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Does your old lady yell at you for constantly making mistakes over and over, seemingly the same ones, no matter how much she's told you to stop doing it?
Well, I can be honest with you. This is going to be kind of a shocker. She's been gone for about 6 years.
Oh, this guy's really laying into the new persona.
What'd she die of?
Anytime somebody projects, I got to be honest with you, it's a tell that you're lying to me with a new persona.
What'd she die of?
Well, boys, she actually died in a car wreck. But the thing is I actually got dared to call in. I lost a bet.
Uh-oh.
I'm confused.
He died. Car wreck.
I'm confused about what's happening.
It's Tom thought of an idea last week. He's like, hey, every Thursday at 1 p.m. we're going to do live call Thursdays. And then this week he forgot about it. And now we're trying to do the segment with our beloved Bart Marek team, but people are calling in and doing their...
But was that the same guy?
Yes, it was the same guy.
So you have one guy who's calling.
Yeah, this guy calling thinks that he's circa late 90s, early 2000s Daniel and Blackbean, and he's now calling up to do a bunch of wacky voices. This is the prison. This is the prison I have created, and this is why I'm going to therapy at 3 today, and we'll talk to her. She'll make me hold my heart center and be like, I am good enough. I am okay. And breathe out and try to not kill myself.
Bart, do you ever experience anything? Like, I know that the one time you burned down your red wagon.
You burned down your red wagon.
Like, did your wife, say, look, you left the fireworks on and it burned her red wagon down? Did she mention it, or she's like, didn't care?
You'll get it one day.
No, she didn't care.
Yeah.
Cleaned it up.
It doesn't affect her. That didn't affect her, maybe. Maybe that's why she didn't
care.
Yeah.
Didn't,
I think
you ever cut up your stove?
I think Andrea is unaffected by a lot of what I've done because I've done so much of it so rapidly.
Yeah.
That I've desensitized her to...
Yeah, she's overwhelmed with the...
I think so.
The things.
But she's taking the responsibilities away and just does it herself, right? That's what I want.
I just exist in her universe. I literally have no influence or power.
Okay, that's what I want.
Yeah, I'm just kind of there. Anything I say, she will appease and listen to, but it has zero value. Any decision that's made is her decision.
But that's the problem.
She has control of all money.
When I hear, for instance, when we went down to Naples recently, and Crystal was tasked. Crystal usually is the vacation planner of our family, because she does a good job at it. So she was she's like, I couldn't find any Airbnbs, and this is our plan, right? And
so I booked you in the Ghost of Bubba haunted house.
So what I'll do is, I don't like that plan, and then I'll passively aggressively say, well, I'll take a look.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
To see if
that's
what
I
you're
do to
saying,
Andrea, because she's too stupid to do it right.
It's an
That's
insult.
what she hears when you say that. That's what I hear when
No, I just say what I mean. I don't sugarcoat it.
Yeah, see, he sugarcoats.
I don't say it to Andrea. I'll just be like, hey, let me take a look. But what I mean is, let me take a look. You're too stupid to do it.
Yeah, but then you take a look and it's exactly what you said, right? Because she knows better than you.
Yes, and Crystal knows better than you.
Yeah, and that's what ends up happening. I'm like, what about this one? She's like, I looked at that one already.
Yeah, you're an idiot. I looked at that 5 days ago.
Yeah. Then we get to a point where I'm like, oh, well, then you just go do it.
And she does.
Yeah. But then when we're, walking through a halfway house and there's roaches in the...
That was a mistake.
You're allowed one. You're allowed a mistake.
Every now and then,
Yeah.
it's not every day.
You're allowed, and you know what? You have a lot to do. Like having to clean up all of his mistakes, you're bound to make at least one.
And
everybody could have stayed there. You would have been fine.
You know how happy I am when Crystal makes a mistake?
I know, because it's the first thing I'll hear about. You'll be like, oh, I got a great story.
And then, then I have to weigh in my head. I'm like, should I mention how?
I mentioned them all. Yeah.
But I was like, this could go poorly for
I
me.
used to ask Andrea, I was like, can I talk about that on the show? But now I don't ask anymore.
Now
I do know that I have deteriorated my relationship a bit. I have. I played it a little loose, and I can tell now I've done some damage that I'm going to have to... well, it can't be repaired. It can't be repaired.
Felt good to tell that story.
Okay.
I've been holding that for a minute. So back to houses. So now, if you want to buy a house, is it the same kind of window as far as like everybody's going to be starting putting their houses up for sale spring, early summer, and so that's the time you're looking.
Yeah, naturally, if there's more listings, then the buyers are going to have more options.
And
so it's a good time for buyers to buy too.
It's all based on the school year. It's the idea is you want to buy a house before the summer hits, the kids get out of school, so that they get settled, and then they get enrolled in the new school in the fall.
Gotcha.
It also kind of follows a northern model where, like way up north, they don't typically sell real estate when there's snow on the ground, or at least most people don't buy. They wait until it falls.
Yeah.
So it kind of follows that trend as well.
How's the market doing as far as like?
That was a question in the chat room. People want to know kind of where we're at in layman's terms with pricing.
The seller's market, buyer's market, a little bit of both?
It's probably a buyer's market slightly now. It probably moved over a little. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
It was definitely a seller's market coming out of COVID and shifted now with rates. Since rates are kind of stuck around 6-ish or so right now.
Yeah.
And that's where they've been for a while. There's a matter of people who are starting to sell as a fact of attrition, meaning they just have to, like their job changes.
Can't wait anymore. They're not waiting for rates to come down anymore. They're not waiting for these big changes.
So we're getting that's coming back a little bit. There's still going to be the lockup of people who have a 3.5% mortgage, and they're just not they're not going to refi or get into anything else at 6+.
Right.
So there's going to be those people that are just stuck. But you also have first-time home buyers who are stepping in because to them this is just what they know. We have a client right now who's real young, just graduated from college, buying a small condo. And, this is what he knows, that the rates aren't, it's just, that's what it is.
Right.
So they're buying. I will say last year's the best year we had since COVID started. It's definitely the first year we saw where it picked back up for us. We did, just over 10 million last year. Typically pre-COVID, we were doing about 13 million. So in its worst, we did, I think, 8?
7.
7?
7.5 or something.
2 years ago or a year or two ago back. So
13 million. Why am I still working?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
That's all I heard.
I hear numbers like that, and I'm like, oh my god, that's island money.
Yeah. Why am I still doing this?
Yeah, let's buy TikTok.
Telling these stories, making myself look like a buffoon.
But I think this year is going to be the best. It'll be better than was last year, so I do expect it to pick up more. I think this fall will be a good time if you need to sell to do it. We're definitely getting a lot more calls during the winter this year to sell into the spring than we did last year.
Okay.
So that's definitely a tell. I think another year or two from now, there's probably going to be a pretty good opportunity in the condo market in Florida. Condos are coming down price-wise more so than single families are. And you see that largely because of the HOA fees and the new requirements too. And I'm sure Daniel knows about this here in Baldwin.
We're fighting them. That's my Zoom meeting I was mentioning is
right.
I have to get on there, and basically they're trying to roll the price of a new roof or the litigation aspect of that. They want us to pay for court costs. And I already told Andrea, like, I'm at the age where I'm willing to do things to have them put liens on my house because I don't care. I just want to see what happens. You know, I'm like, I'm not paying that. They're like, well, we want you to pay for the fact that you know, we had to take this to an attorney, yada yada. I'm like, I'm not paying that. That was on you. You pay that. And Andrea's like, well, you have to pay it. I'm like, I don't want to pay it.
You got to build a big trash middle finger.
Yes, aluminum foil. You build an aluminum foil middle finger, and you put it on the roof of your townhome.
Yeah. Just have them fine you, and then you're like, who cares?
Yeah, it is a bit of a mess, and
they will take your home eventually, though.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it takes a long time. You waste your time.
I don't want you to give other people the advice to do that.
I don't even want to live there.
He'll be dead by then.
Yeah, I will.
Like,
I'm on a 3-year plan right now with these hips. I should be out of here in about 2.5. 2.5 years.
There's actually a condo complex not far from here, just a mile over on 436.
Winter
Park Woods, I think. That their HOA fees went from, I believe a 3-bedroom last year was $800 a month, which sounds incredibly high to me.
Yeah, oh my God.
Well, if you saw this place, it's literally falling down. Like, I am surprised it's not condemned because it's in rough
shabby
shape.
chic. Shabby chic.
I saw a condo come up for sale in there. It was either yesterday or the day prior. With the new HOA fee for 2025 that went from $800, and I don't know if this is right or not because it blows my mind, to $3,371 a month. $3,371.
Yeah, that was the 3-bedroom. The 2 bedrooms HOA was like $2,018.
Oh my God!
I pay two. I pay a monthly, and then I pay a townhome bi-yearly, maybe.
Yeah, but it's not $3,000 a month.
No.
And
And they do a lot.
And listen, these condos, by the way, if you're not familiar with the area, they are like they sell for $125,000.
Yeah.
So they are not nice, fancy amenities galore.
It's not a nice complex. They found a dead
nice
body in the dumpster over there a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Well, that's where they belong. You don't want to put them in the. You don't put them in the actual unit. Hey, take that dead body and put it in the dumpster. We got people coming in.
I was running by there yesterday.
Yeah.
I pretended to lock the doors on my car.
What's going to happen is in some of those older complexes in Florida, though, where they're seeing the fees go up like that, what you're now getting is investors who are now stepping in and just buying up those units. And what they want to do is get to a threshold where they then control the vote on the HOA, which makes it a lot easier for them to put rules and put things into effect that makes it easier for them to acquire more. And then eventually just plow the property, put something new up, make a bunch of money doing it that way.
Huh.
What sucks for those people, too, is there's a lot of people living there that bought those that are fixed income, who are used to paying, $800 a month for HOA fee. And now it's going up to, $2,500 more. You just can't afford to do that. It makes the property worthless.
That's you've seen that in a lot of condos recently, especially after the condo collapse, and
that's what started all of this.
Yeah, everybody is like, they're putting pressure on us to do repairs and do all the stuff we've been kicking down the road.
Special assessments going crazy, yeah.
And then but this is a great reason why you should use the Bart Marek team.
They know all
have
of this.
experience, and this is something they can warn you about if you're looking to buy condos. You know what I'm saying? That's why if you use an unexperienced realtor, it could screw you because they are not going to warn you about all these things, and they may okay, I could do the paperwork to buy a house, and then you buy a condo that has $2,000 a month.
It's as simple as this. I have, and you have. We've worked with bad realtors before, and it's a disaster. Don't do that.
It costs you money.
It will. Work with the Bart Marek team. They're kind. They'll help you out. They'll answer your questions. Yeah, super smart.
So anyway.
Houses are still moving under 350, and anything under 350 that's in decent shape sells real quick nowadays. We're probably seeing average price points closer to around 4 and change, low 4s. Around Central Florida, it's becoming more and more common to sell $500,000 property. I remember when I got into this 13 years ago, our average price point was like $175,000 to $200,000, on a house. Now we're $500,000 on about half the stuff we sell.
Yeah, I remember when houses used to be $200,000, and I used to think like, oh man, if I could only get to. I remember looking at a house in Orlando. It was like $210,000, and I'm like, this is a mansion.
Yeah,
I could
never hit. The 210 price point was the one that I could never hit, and I was always like, man, I'll never live in that. My first home, brand new, Miranda home. $96,000 brand new.
Right? Yeah.
I'd have $480 house payment.
We're not talking the 70s. We're talking like what? Late 90s?
No, early 2000s.
Early
2000.
After 9/11.
You know what? It would have been 04.
Okay.
04 when I bought my first home. Yeah. $480. Yeah. 1580.
Yeah.
It was a 1580. 2.5 bath. 3-bedroom.
Crazy.
Yeah, with a big back patio.
Those days are gone.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Ship
for
has
now.
sailed. We got to get out of here, buddy.
It's the Bart Marek team, BartTheRealtor.com. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks for
appreciate
having
y'all.
us.
We will see you Monday.